Welcome to Yoga by Janelle. Today's class is basically a beginner's class, but anyone is welcome to do this class. This class is kind of special to me because this is the class that I designed to get my certification for being a yoga teacher. So in essence, this is my officially first class that I actually designed. So in this class, you're going to be doing some strengthening, you're going to do some flexibility, some balance, and of course your yoga flow. So grab your mat. You may want to bring a block or two, as I will be showing modifications for those. And let's get busy. So we're gonna go ahead and stand up in the center of your mat. You're gonna keep those feet firmly planted into the ground so that you can feel all four corners of your feet on the ground. Turn those palms upward to face the front of the room. Draw those shoulders down and back. Pull those abdominal muscles in towards your spine. Lengthen up through your back, all the way from your tailbone to your crown. Close your eyes and begin to breathe in through your nose. You're going to count to 4. So we're going to inhale through your nose. And exhaling it back out to the count of 4. Now some of our counts may be slightly different. So we're going to inhale again. Exhaling it out. You want to inhale into those lungs, deep breathing it. Exhaling it out. Inhale again. Exhaling it out. While you're breathing, try to turn off all those thoughts that you have racing through your mind and just turn your focus inward onto your breath. Relax your face. Relax those muscles around your eyelids. Relax your jaw. Just find a place of relaxation and focus on your breath. We're going to take your right ear and drop it down to your right shoulder. Move that head around until you find the area with the most tension. We're going to hold it there for a few breaths. And bring that head back to center. We're going to lower your left ear to your left shoulder. Again, find the area with the most tension and hold it there for a few breaths. And return to center. At this time, you can go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to spread those feet apart slightly, about hip width distance apart. We're going to bring some movement into our breathing. So on your next inhale, I want you to lift your arms up over your head and exhaling it down to the side of your body. You're going to inhale those arms up again. Turn your gaze up towards your hands and exhaling it down to the side. One more, inhaling it up. Stay here at the top and we're going to lean over to our right. So you can clasp those hands together, taking a few breaths. I'm going to inhale it in. One more time. And exhaling it back up to center. Exhale those arms all the way down. Inhaling it up. Pausing at the top for a moment. Leaning over to your left. Taking a few breaths. Exhaling it back to the center, exhaling those arms down to your side. We're going to go into a forward fold. So if you need your block, you may want to bring your block in front of you. You should only need one. You're going to position your block wherever is best positioned for you, the height that you need to bring the floor to you. We're going to lean, keep those feet about hip width distance apart. You're going to hinge over at your waist, reaching down towards your block or reaching to the floor. Allow your body to just fold over and breathe. If you want a slightly deeper stretch, you can turn your palms to face the rear of your room. Walk those hands behind you and kind of lean into your toes slightly. You may have to widen your stance for that one. Drop your head. And we're going to lift that head up. We're going to walk those hands over to your right leg. Cradle that heel or your ankle and pull your chest in toward your thigh. And we're going to come back to center, walking those hands over to your left, cradling that ankle once more, and pulling that chest in toward your thigh. And inhale in through your nose, exhaling it out. One more time. And coming back to center again. I'm going to move my block. You can still maintain your hand on your block. We're going to turn your right hand out towards the right. We're going to do an open twist. So you're going to bring your left hand up to your waist. Keep those abdominal muscles drawn in. Now if you're having any issues with your neck, you can stay here or you can slightly twist, but keep your neck facing down. Otherwise, if you have no issues, we're going to rotate, lifting that left arm up towards the ceiling, turning your gaze upward, and breathe. And release that. I'm going to go to the opposite side, rotating that left hand out to the side and lifting that right arm up. Gaze is going to be up towards the ceiling. And keep breathing. And release it down once more. Walk those feet in. And we're going to bring those hands onto your knees or thighs, pushing yourself up to stand. I'm going to move my block. You can bring your block with you as well. We're going to move to the front of our mats. We're going to use our blocks if you need those blocks down there. We're going to get started with our sun salutation. So we're going to step forward. I want you to be facing your top of your mats. We're going to inhale, lift those arms up. You're going to exhale, forward fold. You can rest your hands on your blocks if you need. You're going to inhale, push yourself up to a half lift. You want your back to be flat. You're going to exhale, forward fold once again. With your hands on your blocks or on the floor, you're going to step your left leg back into a high plank, following through with the right leg. Your plank, you want your arms stacked so that you want your elbows underneath your shoulders and your wrists under your elbows. You want your abdominal muscles drawn in. You don't want your bottom sticking up or sagging down. And we're going to lower it down, exhaling it down with your arms facing the back of the room. Untuck those toes so that your feet are flat on the floor. And you're going to push up into cobra slightly. You're gonna exhale it back down. Tuck those toes, pushing up into tabletop. You're gonna push up into tabletop, bringing those hips directly over your knees. You want your arms in alignment once more. We're going to tuck those toes and push up into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, your heels should be floating towards the ground. They don't have to touch the ground. You're going to be pushing your chest in towards your thighs, and you want your head down, looking behind you. We're going to hold it here for a couple breaths. You're going to look up in front of your hands. You can bend that leg, step it forward, or you can walk it to the top of the mat. You're going to inhale, lift it up to a flat back once again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift those arms all the way up. Gaze is going to be up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. We're going to go back through that again. I'm going to move my blocks. I'm not going to use them this time. We're going to inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. You can put your hands on your shins and lift up. Exhale, hands to the ground, stepping back into plank. And bringing it down to the mat. Untuck those toes, pushing up into cobra. Exhaling it back down. Tuck those toes. Now you can go all the way into downward facing dog from this position, or you can transition by going into tabletop, then downward dog. So we're going to push up into downward facing dog. Exhaling it. You can walk it forward. You can lift one leg up, drawing it through to the top of your mat, stepping forward with the other. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up to the ceiling. Exhaling down to your heart center. I'm going to go through this again. You're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the ground, stepping back into plank. Drop down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back down to the ground. We're going to inhale, pushing into tabletop. Bring those knees underneath of your hips. We're going to do cat and cows. You're going to drop your abdominal muscles down and lifting that head up. You're going to exhale, round that back out. Inhale. Lift that head up, dropping those abs. Exhale, rounding it out. Going to do it again. And exhaling it out. Inhale once more. And exhaling it out. We're going to come into a slight back bend. You're going to step up onto your tall kneel. Round that right arm back towards that right heel. Rounding that left arm back to that left heel. And you're going to straighten up. Keeping that head slightly elevated. You don't want to drop it all the way back. We're taking 3 breaths here in camel. Unwrap that left arm, unwrap that right arm, coming back down into tabletop. We're going to sit down into child's pose. Bring those toes together, spread those knees out towards the sides of your mat. Sink your bottom down to your feet. Walk those hands forward, bringing that head down to the mat.
And lift the head up. We're going to come back onto our hands and knees. We're going to tuck those toes into downward facing dog. We're going to take a couple breaths. Looking forward, stepping that left leg up. We're going to take into our high crescent lunge. Here, if you need your blocks, you may want to grab them again. You can use your blocks on whatever level that you need. You can stay here in this position where you're having your arms supported on your blocks. You can have your arms supported on your thigh. You can also bring your arms up in the air. We're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Keep those abdominal muscles drawn in. Your knee should be tracking directly over the second and third toe, and your knee should be over your ankle. Bringing those arms down, lower that back leg down so that the knee is on the ground. Untuck your toe, walk that knee back slightly. Again, you can keep your hands on your blocks in this position, keeping that knee over the ankle. We can push up, have your hands on your knees for a little bit deeper stretch, or you can bring those arms up, taking a few breaths, exhaling it out, inhale, one more time, and coming down, we're going to sit back into that back leg, moving your blocks. You're going to straighten the front leg out. You're going to lean into that stretch, stretching out that hamstring. Bringing that head up, we're going to move those blocks forward, bending that front knee back. You're going to tuck that back toe, pushing up into your high lunge. We're going to step that foot forward and stepping back with the left foot this time. Find your desired position. Lower that back leg down, tucking that toe. And we're going to sit back into that stretch, moving those blocks with you. Straighten that leg out, leaning into that leg, getting a nice hamstring stretch here. And we're going to bend that front knee back up. We're going to untuck that toe. We're going to move those blocks forward. And we're going to bring that left leg back up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Gazing up. Exhaling it down to your heart center. We're going to inhale, lift it up again. Exhale, forward fold. Going to inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Stepping back into plank. Bringing it down to the ground. Doing your cobra. Inhale. Exhaling it out into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to do a little bit of strengthening work. We're going to come and walk it in, bringing those arms in, and we're going to walk it back down into a push-up. In this push-up, we're not going to have our arms go out. You're going to keep your arms tracking to the rear of the room. And bringing it back up, inhaling it up, And back, walking it back up. Take a nice inhale, and we're gonna walk it forward. Lower, arms to the back, elbows to the back, lifting back up, pushing back, walking it back. We have 2 more of these. Bringing it down, pushing it up. On this next one, we're gonna come down, and we're gonna stay down. And pushing it up into tabletop. Remember to bring those knees under those hips. We're going to add a little bit of core work in. This is going to be your starting position. You're going to drop down onto your right forearm, then your left forearm. You're going to push back up through the right hand and the left hand. If you want a challenge, we're going to come onto your plank position, and we're going to do it like this. Keep those core tightened. We're going to do 3, leading with the right arm. Then we're going to do 3, leading with the left arm. And then we're going to take a moment break into child's pose. Right arm, left arm. Right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, right, and drop those knees down. Bring those toes together, separate those knees, push back into child's pose. Breathing into those lungs. One more breath. And lifting that head up. Pushing back up into tabletop. Taking a few cat and cows. Inhaling it in. Exhaling it out. Round it back. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. Inhale it in one more time. Exhaling it out. Tuck those toes, push up into downward facing dog. Walk, step, or float forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift those arms all the way up. And exhale to heart center. We're going to start into chair. You're going to inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, arms down to the ground. Stepping back into plank, lowering down. Pushing back up into downward facing dog. We're gonna lift that leg up, stepping it into your high lunge. We're gonna rotate that foot down into your warrior one. And warrior one, that front knee is gonna be directly over your ankle. The knees track between the second and third toe. And the foot is going to be down on the ground. You're gonna open it into warrior two. All you're doing is opening those arms up. Your gaze is going to be over the right shoulder. So you should be with your right leg forward. We're going to go into reverse warrior, dropping that left arm down. Rotate the right arm up, leaning over to your left. Breathing into that right side body. Your gaze can be in your eye of your elbow. And we're going to release it back to warrior two. Dropping that right forearm down to your thigh. Stretching that left arm up and over. Shooting energy through those fingers. You got long lines of energy pulsating through and running through those arms and legs. Inhaling it in, exhaling it out. Bringing it back up into your warrior two. You're going to bring those legs together slightly. Set your weight back into your left hip. Going down into your triangle. If you have your block, you can rest your hand on your block. You can rest your hand on your shin. Or you can take it down to the ground. You're going to rotate, lifting that arm up. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. Bringing that arm back down, hand back to your waist. Put a slight bend in that knee. You're going to bring yourselves up. Rotating those feet so that you're going to be in your high lunge with the left leg. Dropping that back foot down into warrior one. Knee should be over your ankle, tracking the second and third toe. Foot should be down, 45-degree angle. Opening into warrior two. Gaze is over that left arm. Keeping that knee bent, you're going to take your right arm down, rotate the left arm up, leaning into that right side body. Breathing into the left side of your body. Returning to warrior two. Dropping that forearm down to your thigh. Sending that energy all the way out through those fingertips. Breathing into that right side of your body. Filling that lung with air and letting it out. Coming back into warrior two. Slightly bring that back leg in. Gonna lean into that right hip, lower that arm down. Again, finding the position that best works for you. Extending that right arm up. Dropping that arm down to your waist. So put a slight bend in that foot. Coming up to stand. Bring those feet in together. We're going to go into our balance portion now. So today we're going to also use your block to modify. I'm just going to grab one block. I'm going to put it down on the side so it's ready. The first balance that we're going to do is just simply lifting that leg up. So we're going to find a focal point. Keep those abdominal muscles drawn in. And we're going to lift. You're going to root down into that left leg, lifting that right leg first. You're going to lift that leg up and just hold it there. If you need to use your block to help you support that position, you can use your block by placing your toe on top of the block. And you can have your block at any level. So we're going to lift that leg up and hold it. And for more challenge, you can lift those arms up. You can bring those arms out to the side, or you can bring those arms into your chest in prayer position. 2 more breaths. And lower it down. We're going to go to the other side. Once more, you can use your block. You're going to push those feet down into the ground, rooting that right leg down, lifting your left this time. Find your position of balance. Find that arm position for your challenge. And hold it. Taking 3 breaths here. And releasing it down. We're going to do our tree pose, and tree pose is very similar to what we've just done. You can keep your block as high as you like, or you can place your block down on the ground. We're going to start with lifting our right leg first. So in tree pose, you're going to keep that foot rooted down. You can turn your toe upward and bring your heel to the shin part of your foot, of your leg, I'm sorry. Again, you can have the block turned to whatever height that you want to challenge yourself. If you are not going to use a block, then in that case, you can modify and you can stay right here with the tree. You can just have your toes on the ground, the ball of your foot on the floor, and your foot just kind of resting on the bottom portion of your leg. For some of you, this is going to be where you are today, and that is fine. We are all working at different levels. Yoga is not just for one type of person. Anyone can do yoga, okay? And if you are going to move, you can bring your foot below your knee and above your ankle. If you are a little bit more balanced and a little more flexible, you can lift and bring it up into your groin, above the knee and below the groin, or hip, pelvis, whichever one you want to name it, and you're going to hold it there. So we're going to start by rooting that left leg down into the floor. Maybe spread those toes apart just to give you a little bit more balance. Try not to roll your foot out to the side, because that's where a lot of people tend to go when they lose their balance. So we're going to go ahead, root down in that left foot, rising up through the right foot, right leg. Find your position and find your balance. Find something that you can focus on. You want to focus on an inanimate object. Find your arm positioning. Take your breath. You're going to inhale it in and exhaling it out. We're going to grow those tree branches. Stretch those arms up. Taking 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And we're going to release it down. We're going to go over to the other leg. We're going to do our tree on the opposite side. So it's time to root down through your right leg, lifting that left leg up. Again, those positions are beneath or below the knee and between the ankle, or above the knee and the groin and below the groin. So I'm a little different on each side. You all may notice that you may be different on both sides as well, and that's okay, that's fine. And if you notice that you're a little wobbly, it's just your body's way of trying to find that balance, your body's way of trying to figure out how to gain the balance. And that's good. So we're going to go ahead and spread those toes out, root your weight, push that weight into that right leg, lifting that left leg up, finding that position that best suits you, and find your focal point and breathe. Always come back to that breath. Helps you to regulate that system. And we're going to grow those tree branches up. Keep on breathing. And releasing it down. We're going to step moving that left leg, turning it towards the edge of your mat, bringing through with the right. We're going to sit back into our chair. Let me make sure my blocks are gone. They are. We're going to sink back into chair. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands down to the ground. Stepping back. Lowering down to the ground once more. We're going to inhale into cobra. Exhale, let me down. And we're going to bring those hands, crossing them over in front of us, and bring your head down and rest your head onto your hands, onto your arms, I'm sorry. Taking a few breaths here. So from this, you're going to lift that head up, and from this position, we're going to stretch those arms forward, and we're going to do some core work with your back. You want to keep your abdominal muscles drawn in while you do this. You're going to lift up those legs together, and you're going to lift those arms up at the same time. Then we're going to lower. Now, if you need to modify this, you can lift the opposite arm and leg at the same time. So you would lift up your left leg, right arm, bringing it down, right leg, left arm, and so forth. We're going to do these. We're going to inhale, lift, however you're doing it. We're going to inhale, lift, exhaling it down, inhale, lift, exhale down, inhale, lift, keep those abdominal muscles drawn in, exhaling it down, inhale, lift, exhale down, inhale, lift, and exhaling it down. We're going to go into a boat pose, and you're going to bring that right leg up, reaching back with your right hand, grabbing onto that foot. Lift that left leg up, reaching back, grabbing onto that foot. If this is where you are, this is where you stay. If you can lift up, you're going to keep those abdominal muscles drawn in. We're going to lift the arms and the legs together and hold it and breathe. Keep those muscles in. Taking 3 breaths. Releasing it, lowering down, pushing up into child's pose. And lifting it up. Coming back onto tabletop, we're going to come and sit down onto our bottoms. And we're going to come into a cross-leg position. I'm going to inhale, lift those arms up. Exhaling it down. Inhale, lift those arms up. You're going to exhale, twisting it over the right arm. And you're going to gaze over that right shoulder. Taking a few breaths. And returning back to center. You're going to inhale, lift those arms up. Exhaling it down. Notice where your mind is wandering. And we're going to twist over to the left arm. If you're getting thoughts back in your mind, allow those thoughts to leave and focus in on your breath. Couple more breaths. And returning into center. In yoga, it's all about symmetry. So we're going to remove those legs in the order they were, placing the one that was on the outside to the inside. And we're going to go through our stretch again, inhaling it up, and exhaling down, inhaling up again, rotating over that right shoulder, taking a few breaths.
And releasing it back to center, inhaling it up, exhaling it down, inhaling it up, and rotating it over that left shoulder. And releasing it back to center. I'm going to straighten those legs forward. We're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. With every exhale, try to get deeper into that stretch, but do not overdo it. You want to listen to your body. Your body knows what you can do. One thing of yoga is to cause no harm to yourself. And in that means don't do something that's going to be hurting. Yoga should feel good. Yoga should not hurt you. And releasing it. We're going to spread those legs open. We're going to walk those arms down to the front. And breathe. And coming back up to center. We're going to lean over to that right leg. Bringing that chest down, not necessarily your head, but your chest down to your thigh. And releasing it back up to center, coming over to the left side. And coming back up again, bringing those feet so that your bottoms of your feet are touching. It's also known as your butterfly stretch. We're going to go into that, and you can press, you can stay here with your back lengthened, pressing those arms into that stretch, into your thighs to get a little bit more stretch. You can grab on and you can lean forward as well. And if you need support of your block, you can take your blocks and you can place them under your knees for added support if you need that support. And releasing it. I'm going to lie over onto our backs. We're going to do a little bit of abdominal work here. So we're going to bring those feet to face upward towards the ceiling. You're going to bring your hands behind your head. And as you drop that right leg down, you're going to rotate up with the right arm towards the left leg. Bringing it back up, dropping that side down. We're going to do 10 on each side. So you're going to drop and lift. 1. Exhaling it in. Inhale. And releasing that. You can always modify by keeping those legs down and not sitting up. And we're going to switch to the other side, dropping the left leg down.
right, I'm gonna bring those hands so that your fingertips can touch your heels. We're gonna do a bridge. Just gonna lift that hips up. Keep those abdominal muscles drawn in, lowering it back down. Gonna inhale, lift it again. And lower it down. Gonna inhale, lift it one more time and hold it. And lower it down. Crossing that left leg over your right thigh, pulling that into your chest. You can bring your hands through the opening and pulling it in towards your chest even further. Taking a few breaths. Getting a nice stretch on those glutes. This is a great one if you have back pain. This is a great one to stretch in an effort to help relieve some of that pain. A lot of times the muscle that is responsible for back pain can be stretched in this position. And releasing it down. And crossing it over to the other side. Again, pulling it in towards your chest. Making sure that your toes are pushing back towards your shin, just to protect that knee. And releasing it. Stretching that left leg up. Putting that heel towards the ceiling. You can grab behind that shin. Pulling back into that stretch, holding it there. If you have a strap or towel available, you can always put it around your foot here and just kind of hold it and draw it in. You can straighten the other leg out if that's comfortable for you. And releasing it. Switching that leg over, lifting that right leg up. And releasing it down again. Bring those arms out to the side. We're going to drop those knees down to the right and gazing over to your left. We'll switch, do the opposite. And then we're going to switch again. Switch. Bringing those knees back to the center. Go ahead and relax those legs down to the ground. Letting your legs just fall how they may. Bringing those arms down to the side of your body, palms facing upward. I'm going to go ahead and just rest here for a few moments. Return to your normal breathing. Allow your body to just melt into the ground, relaxing each and every muscle that you have. Notice the energy that you have moving through your body at this moment. Notice how you feel. Find gratitude in coming and putting in the work today. As you lie here in stillness, just reflect on your practice and how it has made a benefit to you. this time, go ahead, bring movement back into your fingers and back into your toes. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves up into a seated posture. I ask that you will sit here for just a moment before you stand, just to make sure you're not going to get dizzy. Thank you so much for joining my class today. I hope this class has been beneficial for you. And if it has, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. And also drop me a comment and let me know what you thought of the class. Just as always, I always say, just, carry everything off the mat, carry it into your everyday life. It gets hard sometimes, and sometimes we just have to find that balance in our day. Find that flexibility with ourselves and others. And as always, keep that strength. Find that strength that you have to just keep on going. All right, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day.